What is up, everybody? I'm Courtney.
I'm Sean.
We're with Hill City Paranormal.
What's up?
Normally, on a typical show, you would see our guests already.
Where are you at, though?
Which we are bringing to you live, Middletown Paranormal. All right, and
Middletown.
And I promise, they're coming. All right, but for a brief moment, I'm not sure if anybody saw our post regarding our newest addition to Hill City Paranormal's home. But Sean over here, always Sean.
Oh, you gotta blame me for
Yeah,
that.
always Sean.
Always blaming me.
Decided that he wanted to purchase a whole lot of Raggedy Ann dolls.
I like the dolls.
So I proceeded to tell him as a child, I had a Raggedy Ann and Andy, like the original had a stamp on it,
Andy.
like the whole nine. And I think that's like really cool that he was able to find this on eBay. So he ends up bidding, purchases the whole lot for a steal. I'm not going to tell you how much because he literally stole them. But we brought them home, and somebody said, put a K2 on it. We have a strict rule in the Elliott household not to investigate our own home, but curiosity took over. And we put a K2 on these dolls. So a lot of you guys saw my video where they were in the case and the K2 was going off. But I believe it was actually Middletown, who I'm going to bring in a second. Or no, it was Boo's Paranormal.
Boo's, yeah, Ron.
That said,
shout out Boo's Paranormal.
That said, pull each one out individually, put it in the middle of the floor, and then put a K2 on it. Well, thank you to Ron, because now I am aware that out of the 14, 15 that we have, like 11 of them have K2 spikes. So without further ado, I want to bring in Middletown Paranormal because they also concurred with Ron's theory of pulling them out individually. And we're going to talk haunted dolls for a second. And they're here. Middletown Paranormal in the house. And what we were talking about briefly, I don't know if you guys heard, was our haunted doll collection. Okay. And I know, and we are going to do a separate show for those that are wondering. I'm not taking up Middletown's time, but I wanted to pull them in at this exact moment because I wanted to know why so many people said pull them out individually and put them on the floor and put a K2 on each individual doll, because now I'm thoroughly convinced that I need to etch a cross in the case and lock it. Much like Annabelle herself, I now understand why she's behind lock and key. We got a lot of intelligent responses from individual dolls in the middle of the floor. And we
went a step further. Me and Nine took them outside.
Oh my God. So now they're taking the doll. They should have left them outside.
We took them outside.
So they took them all the way outside. But I was about to say, before anybody questions, yes, we have a 2-story house, but we have them in the basement level. So there's nothing but concrete underneath. So
there's concrete behind the wall.
Yeah. So what's y'all's take? Well, first of all,
she loves dolls.
Who are we talking to here? Introduce yourselves.
I'm Shayla.
I'm Ronnie.
And we're from Middletown, Virginia.
Which is so cool because 2 weeks in a row we had another Middletown, but not Middletown Paranormal.
Yeah.
They were Middletown. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Middletown and Middletown. Now we're local. Virginia.
Yeah, now you're Virginia.
All right, so you love dolls, Shayla.
No, it would be just the opposite. I was the one who told you to start a pit outside with a fire and some lighter fluid. That was me.
Gotcha. So Ronnie's picking.
And Ron, bless his heart, has made some awesome. Hi, David.
Hi, David.
Has made some awesome equipment for us, and I will say, bless you, Ron, but no, you should totally not have those in your house anymore. I guess I get a flashback to Wildwood when we went to Wildwood Sanitarium, thinking about the doll room in there. If you haven't been there, it's quite a treat.
I'm finding that there's a lot of haunted locations with a doll room.
Yes, there is. And,
The Octagon Mansion upstairs had dolls, and then where else did we go? Avondale House had a doll room.
Oh wow.
Did they?
Yeah, we haven't
No,
been
did
there.
they or did Rhonda bring dolls? We have a team member that brings dolls.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So if there's no dolls, she will make sure there's dolls there.
Yeah, the Octagon Mansion has a bedroom. It has dolls on the bed, and then the other room. No, I'm mistaken. Downstairs, there's a doll in the corner. They said has walked out across the floor.
It has moved, yes.
Yeah.
Well, we were not fortunate enough to experience the walking doll.
Yeah, that's
I
over.
didn't see
That one sits over by the desk with Lincoln's death mask.
Why did I not see that?
I didn't see it.
Well, we're going. Yeah, we're going back.
Unless John and Debbie's moved it by now. So it's been a while
Yeah,
since I've been there.
We're
It moved
going.
itself.
Oh my God.
It could have moved itself.
Yeah, we were not as fortunate as a lot of people when we went to Octagon. We had a very slow night. But either way, we enjoyed looking at all the artifacts.
I was about to say, I don't care. I'll go back just to hang out and look at the artifacts.
It's a great museum, and that's John's personal collection.
Right.
That's all his.
And John and Deb are awesome people.
Oh yeah, they are.
They are.
Awesome people.
They're
I
so-
saw they're doing dinner with the ghost here in May.
Oh, cool. You
So,
should
I mean-
you should definitely go and experience it. It's really cool.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. Debbie fixes a good meal.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Shayla doesn't like dolls. Ronnie, what's your take?
Doesn't bother me.
They don't bother you?
No, I don't get phased a whole lot by any of this. I mean, I'm the one that stands there and says, "Yeah, bring it. Come on. If you're gonna do something, do it. I'm standing right here." You know.
Right. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, Jerry.
Hi,
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah, we just got done listening to their show. Her and David from Vibe Time. So we just got done listening to their show. So now they're
Awesome. I
popular.
know there's so many great shows on Tuesdays. Right now, there's the totally awesome, freaking
Yeah.
awesome
Ryan.
paranormal show.
Shout out
Ryan Jones. We are in the middle of switching our time because I am like you. I like to jump on everybody's podcast,
Right.
and I can't when I'm doing my own. So,
Yeah.
like mid-April, I think we pop to 8 p.m. So then we'll be able to jump on more later on.
You keep
But-
it on Tuesday night.
Yeah, we are. I know. That's the most popular night.
Yeah, 'cause that's Jerry's time on Tuesday nights at 8:00.
I know. I can't win.
Oh man, we can't.
I can't win.
Always on Sunday nights with Rhonda. So
Yeah,
watch
and
it.
we started on Sunday,
Did you?
and then we switched over on Tuesday,
Cool.
and then we obviously can't go later. We can't go to 10 p.m. because that's just ridiculous on Tuesday night. I work in the morning, and so do 90% of our teams that we have on.
Sure.
But back to the doll topic. I'm like you, Ronnie. Nothing really phases me, but I will say the other day, and there's Ronnie Anderson, Bedford
Ronnie.
Paranormal.
Ronnie.
I will say the other day, I was peacefully napping on my sofa, and I just so happened to be facing the case of dolls. And when I opened my eyes, one of them was staring at me. So at that point, I kind of was like, no.
Was it the one with one eye?
Yes, the one with one eye was.
That one does seem to look at you. It's
that
weird.
was the first time I kind of was like wanting to cuss out a case of dolls. I was like, I sat there for a moment, got my bearings together because like I was just waking up. It was a great nap. It was one of those naps when you just like crash on the couch, you know, and then yeah, you wake up, you're kind of discombobulated, but then the doll was right there, just looking at me.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So I just, you know, I'm kind of on the fence with them. Are
have,
they
you,
haunted? I don't know.
have you been to Wildwood Sanitarium in New York?
No.
They have a doll room. I'm not giving anything away. If you watch
Hey,
the
Michael.
videos, you'll see it. But there's a doll in the doll room that people bring dolls in and like leave them there. But there's a doll in the doll room that's on like a rocking horse, and it has like the red eyes, and I think it's motion. Is it motion? I don't know.
I'm
if
not.
I don't know if it's
They
motion,
say
but
it
it
move-
has batteries in it and it moves on its own.
Yeah.
Rocks, the eyes come on by itself, and it's
Yeah,
really creepy
it's-
looking. And no.
We
And
didn't
they've
get-
taken the batteries out?
No, there's no batteries in it, but they still comes on.
Oh, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
See,
we
I'm
stayed
cool
2
with
nights at that place.
It was we were there in November with John Sullivan from Fredericksburg and Tyler Darnell, the haunted photographer, and we spent 2 nights there. We were there right after Bree Hollingsworth. I'm saying her name. Hollingshead. And she and I actually connected after that and had like some similar experiences and some similar things that we talked about. It's a very interesting location if you ever get a chance to go there.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, I want to check out a lot of sanitariums. And I'm actually gonna skip forward. Normally I ask this question later on to teams, specifically about sanitariums and prices of investigations. We have kind of a small team. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times, going to sanitariums and stuff like that doesn't, it doesn't financially make sense. Mm-hmm. Unless everybody can really pull their weight on that one. But, Sean and I travel often and we're down for whatever, but I don't want to go tackle a sanitarium with just the 2 of us. So of course we want to bring our team in, and I find that almost every sanitarium is pretty comparable in price. It's either $1,000 or more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and Ronnie, that's a good point. He said we need to network with other trusted teams. I do agree with that. So what are y'all doing?
That's kind of what we're doing now. She's setting up a thing for Labor Day weekend for Trans-Allegheny. So yeah, we can't do it, just the 2 of us. We can't afford it. So we travel a lot with
what weekend is that?
We actually have 10 people already. Otherwise, we would let you go with us.
Labor Day weekend.
But it's $1,000 to go in, and then you have to buy insurance, which is another $250. So we went to Ohio State. There was 20 of us, 15 of us. I mean, but Ohio State is huge.
Yeah. You won't run into each other at Ohio State.
I'm a huge fan of sanitariums, and that might speak volumes to some people. I don't know, but I like investigating sanitariums. There was one year we were at St. Albans, I think 6 times.
Yeah.
And I literally enjoyed and had a different experience every time.
But we've been to a couple places with Paul Shields from Culpeper Paranormal, and we've had a blast. We did Moundsville last year, West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Very cool.
We just did USS North Carolina back February. Now we're going to Trans-Allegheny with them. I mean, we're not done going with them, and we travel with Supernatural Lost Adventures. That's Dan and Karen Porter, and we have a blast.
So, do you feel like those are a little bit on the pricey side? Do you feel like maybe the price should come down for sanitariums, or do you think it's 100% worth it?
In Biden's America, everything's pricey.
Amen. We were just talking about that today.
We were.
No, but no, some of them are. Go ahead.
I think that I'm really proud to give money to keep a historical location going. I say that, but if I go to a historical location and then I go back a second time and I either see deterioration of the location or I see something the same and my money hasn't been put to what I feel it should be put for, meaning keeping the location up and going, I get really upset. And it bothers me when I have to pay $1,000 then. Like you said, it's very expensive. Like, what am I paying for if you're not putting the windows back in or you're not putting things back into the location is what I'm getting at. So structurally, whatever.
I am right there with you, Shayla.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ronnie said it's the fact that the TV shows film there and the venues feel the need to price gouge. You know what, Ronnie? I do agree with that in some aspect. I also want to touch base on the fact that we've ran into a lot of locations where there's been local vandals. Like kids that are breaking in after hours and just tearing up the place, or other teams that have put, a bad name behind paranormal investigating. I was talking to somebody recently that they said that they took a break from their location, and she asked me not to say where, but from their location for quite a while because so many teams came in and they were just like not being respectful and things like that. So I always say on every podcast, like if you want to get into a location, do it the right way, because there are teams out here like Middletown, like Hill City, like Bedford Paranormal, Culpeper, etc., that like and enjoy the historical value behind these places. And I am right there with you, Shayla. I want to see where my money is going. Good gracious. Ronnie said St. Augustine charged $1,700 for 5 hours.
That's ridiculous.
That's too much.
Yeah,
That's steep.
they can keep their 5 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, for 5 no. Mm-mm.
If you do the math on that, that's like little.
For 5 hours, I'll go to a bar, drink, and listen to Sean play music.
There you go. We got it. And guess what? The cover charge is either going to be free or like $5.
Yeah, I can handle that.
And chances are there's drink specials.
Right.
Just charge it to the band.
Yeah, that's funny. So where is, aside from sanitariums, do you guys have like a favorite place that you guys frequent, or?
Do you want to answer that?
Not really a favorite. I mean, I enjoy going to all of them. I mean, I'm looking forward. I'd like to go back to the battleship again, USS North Carolina. We had a blast. We had a blast on that thing, and I know we didn't cover it all, and there were some places that we missed, but I'm ready to go back.
I've heard mixed reviews about the USS Carolina. Some people said it's not made for tall people.
No. Yeah, I mean, there's just the thing that got me is for a couple of days after my legs were sore from going up and down the ladders. There's a lot of climbing. There's a lot of climbing, but it is such a wonderful ship. It's just full of so much history. And yeah, you've got it. If you do it once, you've got to go see it.
So did you guys get any like cool evidence? Like I heard there's a lot of apparitions that still roam the ship.
Yeah.
We actually, I put up a YouTube video that I did on the ship, and there's a scene where we're in the bakery, and I had my good old body cam on. Nobody else got it, but Shayla did. It sounds like a chair being pulled out. You know, like when your teacher had that wooden chair and she like scooted out and it made that noise. So you can hear that on the video. We don't know where it came from. We don't know what made the noise. We can't figure it out. That was pretty cool. And then we were in the sick bay, and there was some evidence with, we had some interaction with the REM pod. And then Paul got some really cool EVPs that I have on that video as well. So
I'll have to go check that out. You said that's on your YouTube channel?
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
What is your YouTube channel?
It's just Middletown Paranormal Investigations. If you look it up, it's on there. Yeah, I'm just starting out with videos, and that's probably my best one so far. My grandfather was a POW and a Purple Heart recipient in World War II, so I dedicated the video to him. I took his Purple Heart with me.
Very cool.
I wanted to use this as a trigger object, and I got a really cool piece of equipment where it has the alligator clips, and we put it on a tray. In the memorial room. I think if we had a little bit more time, we might have gotten an interaction, but that was like the last place we went. It was like 4:00 in the morning, and we were all kind of spent. So
yeah, but we couldn't stay till 7. We had till 7.
Yeah, you get a long time. And the volunteer we had with us, he was
great.
So nice. So nice.
But Dan and I were in one section of it. We were in the galley where they serve your food. You go around with your trays and get your food. And he had his dead light, was pushing the button on it on his white light to do a strobe effect, just to see if anything would pop up. And I was standing beside the hatch, and about this tall above my head, about 6 foot, as I caught a glimpse out of the corner of my eye, apparition of a sailor standing.
Wow.
And I told him, and I'm not sure, he hasn't put his video up yet, but that's probably on his video whenever he gets.
I want to see that.
Yeah, Dan puts a lot of videos out. Dan has some really good videos of where we've been, what we've done.
That's awesome. And is that on your guys' YouTube or a separate YouTube?
That's Supernatural Lost Adventures.
Okay. Yeah. All right. And I'm with you, Shayla. I just started our YouTube too, so mine's a little like rocky right now.
Yeah,
but
we're getting used to
I'm
it.
getting there. It's a lot to keep up with when you have all the social media. You got TikTok, you got Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all this stuff, and I try to make a routine every day, but I'll skip one.
Ronnie, that was the same room.
So we were at there's a place called Trevette Clinic in North Carolina. It's a really cool place. It's an old clinic, has a great history, which I won't go into, but this was my first video. I had my body cam on, and Dan Porter had put this one of those playground balls in the middle of the floor, and there was a little girl spirit that said to hang out in the basement. And he goes, if you can make that ball roll, go ahead and do it. Well, sure enough, it rolled.
Love it.
And I was like, and everyone was like, oh, nobody had the camera on. And I was like, body cam right here.
It's funny because Sean just recently invested in a body cam.
I just started rolling with a body cam.
Yeah. So let me ask you this, because he asked me, he ordered a second one, and he said, would you be opposed to wearing a body cam? And I told him no. But I do want to know, Shayla, like the comfortability, like does it get in the way? Like if you're moving, or do you kind of forget it's there?
I forget the camera's there, and when I do investigations, I braid my hair on one side. I have the braid coming down, so a lot of the times the editing is my braid getting edited out of it. But Ronnie just got me a new
chest harness.
A harness for it, so it's going to be more centralized. And since my braid comes down pretty far now, maybe it won't get in the picture anymore.
You think you got something, and it's the braid.
Yeah, I mean, I have one of those squiggly hair things.
Yeah.
So I'm like, there's my braid again.
And I'm gonna get another body cam. I want to carry one too, even though I do carry a video camera. I've got a small GoPro that Dan he took the one of the lens filters out of it, so it's full spectrum now. Plus, I have Phasm Cam, which it works when it wants to work, which is why you should buy things off of Booze Paranormal.
Shout out Booze Paranormal. I agree.
The shop in Lynchburg, I'm gonna buy anything again from the shop in Lynchburg.
Yes. So, although we do not. How do I say this and be nice? I have come straight out and told, go stop, your prices are ridiculous. Although we work being in Lynchburg.
Look, you can say what you want to say on this show.
Yeah,
put it that way.
Being in Lynchburg, it's almost like a forced. I don't know if that's the right terminology, but we have to be there. When somebody comes into your town and you've already got a tean,
it's like the Wild West.
Yeah,
you come out with
we don't. If you can't beat them, join them. And this is, at the end of the day, everybody's for the ultimate goal of research. Sure. And so, will we work with Ghost Stop on investigations? Absolutely. Ronnie Anderson was there. He knows. But I have sat down with the owner and told him, I said, hey, if you tune into our podcast, you are going to hear me personally and say multiple times that your prices are ridiculous.
Yeah.
And he said, I've heard that before.
They have a lot of nice equipment, but it's overpriced, and it either quits working shortly after you get it, or falls apart. Just like my Phasm Cam, the back screen on Phasm Cam, falling out. So,
here's the thing. I told him my point on it being too expensive is with paranormal investigating, ghost hunting, being on the rise of popularity. My vision and my goal is for it to grow and become more popular, because years ago when we first got into it, it was taboo. You better not talk about that stuff. You get ran out of town. So with it becoming more popular with YouTube and ghost shows, I would love to see the young guy or the older person or anybody in between get into this easily. Yeah. The first thing an older person or a young kid's going to do is say, oh, there's a new ghost hunting store in town. Let's walk in a Ghost Stop, and they pick up an Ovilus that's $700 or $600 or however much that thing is now. And they're going to put it right back down and say, I'm going to find a new hobby. Because in their mind, they're going to think that's what I need to do this. Not realizing we all started with something that didn't cost that much. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The only thing they've done for me that I like and appreciated is right after they opened there, She said, let's take a ride down and visit the store because it just got the G2 and it wasn't working right. So I took the G2 with me. Well, they fixed it right there, and it's been working fine ever since.
I was about to say their customer service is top notch. Yeah. I will say that we have gone through 3 dead bells.
3
dead bells and like 6 repairs.
Okay.
So I'm going to spend $1.50 on a regular bill.
It's not working. Like, what is it? Is it just like when you carry it somewhere? Does it fall apart, or can you kind of tell me what's wrong with it?
So our first investigation that we took it on was at Belle Grove at Port Conway, and it worked beautifully. I have a video of it up on our YouTube, I believe. Things like that. I mean, I'm talking intelligent responses. We investigated with FPRI, so we had Rhonda, and Rhonda had asked whoever they were communicating with to ring the bell 2 times, and she said, "Ding, ding." Right behind it. She said, if you could ring the bell 2 times, ding, ding, we would really appreciate it. And that bell went ding, ding, like to her voice tone. So then you hear everybody in the back of the video go, holy shit. Oh my God. So she says, for shits and giggles, can you make it ring 3 times? Ding, ding, ding. And damned if that bell didn't go ding, ding, ding.
Where were you guys at?
In the caretaker's house.
Okay.
So that first investigation sold us on the dead bell. That was the first time.
It did it 4 times the next time.
Okay. So that, I don't think I had that one on video, but
I got it.
But that investigation sold us on the dead bell. I mean, we were sold at that point. So the very next investigation, we pulled it out, we cut it on, and it made this like buzzing noise, and you can actually like smell it like burnt wires. Oh, and we carry it in a case, like a foam case.
Okay.
So we brought it in there. The tech guy worked on it. He said I don't remember what he said. You were the one that brought that in there, Sean. What did he say?
He said it sounded like it was like producing too much power.
Yeah. So he adjusted some things in it, gave us the bell back. We took it on another investigation, same thing. So we took it in. They replaced the bell immediately, no questions asked. So the second new bell, what happened with that?
Same thing.
It was like, I don't know how to explain the noise. Like if you turn something electronic up too high, it was kind of like a buzzing noise. You could hear it.
Okay.
And then, like I said, so the second one was actually getting hot to the touch.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, this is a fire hazard.
Right.
If I'm in my vehicle, if I'm here, working on a computer and I start smelling burnt plastic, I'm shutting down whatever I'm playing with. You know what I'm saying? Because it could cause a fire. So he took it in, and I don't think they asked any questions on that. They just said, all right, we're giving you another bell.
We're going to give you another. Here, take this one. See what happens. Well, that one was bad. So I bring it back, and I'm like, look, I'm not mad at you because I wanted to get mad, but the guy was like, here's another one. Try this one.
Yeah, their customer service is so nice. It's like, you can't get mad. Customer service
is so good, I can't get mad. Finally, I got another one, and that's one so far.
I don't have any wood.
But I like the dead bell because it's been great. And a lot of people don't understand how it works. If you don't have one, it's an EMF bell. It's basically, it's got a trigger in it somewhere that if it gets, I guess the best way to explain it is if there's an entity around, it can manipulate the bell using energy.
Yeah.
If I take an EM pump and put it next to it, it'll ding. Mm-hmm. That's how it works. And you can control the sensitivity of how sensitive it'll pick up and how less. So I always cut it on. The way I operate it is I cut it just one click to where it just barely cuts on. So as soon as it cuts on, I don't go any higher with the sensitivity.
Yeah,
I just won't, because I feel like if I cut it too high, now you're going to get false readings. And the day that Rhonda made that bell go ding ding, when the bell was dinging like 3 times back to back, it was on the lowest possible. If I had clicked it one more time, it would have went off. But
there's a lot of strange stuff that happens in the caretaker's house. I mean, we've had some weird stuff when we've been there. I've gotten into arguments with Baldwin Lee before through STC.
We were there till the sun came up.
Yeah, he's cussed me, wanting to come down the stairs and fight me and kick my ass out the door. I mean, yeah, it's been some fun times there.
Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorite places to go. It was just so active.
Yeah.
You know, I'm at a toss up between the cabin on the 360 and the caretaker's house at Belgrove.
Yeah.
As far as like my favorite locations, because I mean, we were there wide open till the sun was coming up.
Yeah, we've done,
just going.
rock bands with them before.
And see, we had a music box upstairs. And this was crazy. I angled the music box. When you walk up the stairs, you know how there's a room off to the left.
Yeah.
So John.
Caretaker's house.
Oh, the caretaker's house. Okay.
Yeah, in the caretaker's house. So Michael Brooks, John from FPRI, my stepdaughter, Naya, and myself were all in this room.
Okay.
And I put a music box at the top of the stairs, but angled it towards that, like, I don't know what you want to call it, like that landing when you first walked up there, to where we wouldn't trigger it from the room on the left. But if anything came up the stairs on this side of it, or if anything was in that side of the room, it would go off. And something was pacing for every bit of probably 45 minutes. And it would go off and stop, and then go off and stop, like something was pacing in front of the music box. And I mean, that was a wild night. And I think John got some EVPs. I think Michael got the cat ball to go off. And I've actually found up there, I don't know if the caretaker hangs out up there, but I tried a nice approach. And by saying please, and I would really appreciate if you could light up that ball that's in the corner, and damned if it didn't go off.
If Baldwin Lee's there, he'll cuss you. That way you know it's him. And he usually hangs out upstairs. Now, across the landing where you had the music box pointing, that door across the way always stays closed. There's always something in there. We always hear noises in that room, but nothing, the door's always closed. We can't go in there. We've never been in that room.
Right, which is crazy because we lost a cat ball that night because we got tired. And when we all get tired, we get goofy. And so John launched the cat ball towards that door, and it just kept going right on under the door.
Yeah, we've been with him when he's done some strange things.
So I told you we went on tours with and we were at Wildwood. Before we went to Wildwood, we went to a place in Vermont called Wilson Castle. It is the coolest location by far. Historically, it's just a beautiful place. Tyler and John were outside, and Ronnie and I were inside, and we were trying. I think we were talking to Sarah, who was the woman who was involved with the construction of the house. But we had the REM pod set up, and the REM pod and the music box. The music box would do what you were talking about. It would go off sporadically. But the REM pod, the yellow light kept going off. Like every time I asked a question or anytime there was a response, it was just the yellow light. Now, Tyler and John are outside. They don't know what's going on inside. So they come inside, and Tyler says to me, he goes, it's really weird, Taylor. He goes, I think I saw this lady like walking in like between us and like the houses down below. And I was like, really? He goes, yeah, she was wearing a yellow dress.
Oh, that's crazy.
Like, really? Because you're not going to believe this. And he goes, what? And I told him, and he's like, whoa, that's pretty cool. So
while she's standing there talking to the REM pod, I'm looking through the viewfinder on my video camera, and I see something walk out of the room into the next room on the viewfinder. I never could see it on the camera. I saw it on the viewfinder, but running the camera back and watching it, I never saw it.
And I find that so fascinating because there's so many times that, like, if I'm videoing on my phone or looking through the viewfinder, I will see things which will prompt me to look up, but then I don't see anything. So I go back and review footage and there was nothing there. And I'm like, okay, I was just tired. I just chalk it up to that, because a lot of the time when you're doing an overnight investigation, it's 3-4 in the morning and your eyes start playing tricks on you. So, but I'm glad I'm not.
When we got the EVPs from Paul down on the battleship, she got it on her body camera. He's using DR60 and another recorder. I think it was Olympus. I think that's what you were using, Paul. But he asked the question, were the doctors good to you? And you could hear plain, just like we're talking now, no. And he got it on both recorders. Both recorders took it.
So
Now, you can't sleep on the body cam either, because we were recently at an older building downtown Lynchburg.
Yeah.
And again, being tired and goofy, whatever. I came in the room. The guys were investigating in one room, and us girls were in another room. And we weren't getting any activity. So we were like, let's go see what the guys are doing. So I came in and I said, Marco, and just chalked it up, and I laughed and I said, that would have been crazy if we heard something say polo back. And I just went on about my business. Well, he was reviewing his body cam footage. I come in the room. You see me come in the room. I say Marco, and a female voice goes polo. And then a second voice goes polo.
Oh, wow.
I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
Nobody else heard that. And then you hear me say, that would have been funny if somebody responded polo. And so I'm like, man, I could have capitalized on that if I could have just heard you.
Yeah, nobody heard that.
But we didn't hear it. But those body cams are super sensitive. He loves it.
St. Albans. We were at St. Albans, and I didn't have my body cam on, but we were in the boiler room, like in the basement. You've been to St. Albans, yes?
Oh, the one I got on my phone?
Yeah.
I know. I'm fired.
No.
I have not been to St. Albans.
Everyone investigates the bowling alley. And so we went to the boiler room where there's a guy that's supposed to be back there. His name is Smokey. He's a little handsy with the women, but everyone leaves him cigarettes on this particular piece of mechanical equipment. And I'm not kidding you. I swear to God, I thought I saw a hand reach up for one of those cigarettes. Saw it with my naked eye, like you said. So we start listening to, I was recording, and we start listening to the recording, and he starts taping on his phone.
Yeah, I just start videoing because my cameras are in the bowling alley. And the cam won't work for some strange reason.
So I go, holy shit, on the recorder.
No, you used the F word.
Okay, I might have said the F word, but I didn't want to say it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it happened. It happened.
Alice in Wonderland doesn't say the F word.
Sailor does.
So anyway, when I said it, when you hear it, there's a laugh on his phone, and neither one of us laughed.
Right.
We've listened to that thing.
I've let Ronnie Anderson listen to it at Hanover Tavern a few weeks ago, or back in January, and he didn't have an answer for it either.
But it sounds like somebody who smokes. You know how when somebody
like a throaty laugh. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Now we're coming to the cemetery. Remind me, I'll play the video for you. I still have it.
Okay.
We got tickets to the cemetery.
I saw that. I'm excited. I am excited. I do want to go to St. Albans. Let's see. Ronnie said I was at St. Albans Saturday. Secret to activity at St. Albans is to stay off the beaten path.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's the secret pretty much everywhere. Just stay off the beaten path.
That's actually good advice, Ronnie.
I was about to say that's really good advice.
Whenever somebody tells you there's the hot spots, don't go there.
Yeah.
I've learned that.
Everybody does the bowling alley. Like everybody, all the shows that have been there, and we've done the bowling alley, but we went to the boiler room.
Yeah, we just went to the boiler room this time.
So. See, and I think that's cool. I'm one that likes to hear about the hot spots. Sean is one that's like, all right, I want to experience it myself. Tyler, hey Tyler, haunted photographer. I love his photography. We were just talking about Belgrove. So yeah, the cemetery is one where we've gotten some really crazy stuff, and I'll let you guys experience it for yourselves, of course. But
we just started doing we're hosting where teams can come do investigations there. We just started doing publics there, but the cemetery is really a cool place because the amount of history there.
Right.
It's the cemetery.
Well, in a way we've done the one at Belgrove.
Okay, we did the one at Belgrove. Yeah, I will give you that. But I mean, I'm telling you, Belgrove is a cool location. We've done that place a lot of times. But I will tell you that I cannot top, and I love, all the people I investigate with. I've learned something from every single one of them. But when I got to investigate with John Zappis, I'm not going to kid. I was like a kid in a Toys R Us store, and somebody just gave me like $1 million and said, buy what you want to buy. I was like, this is
totally fangirled.
This is
This, when we were kids, we used to go into cemeteries at night, but this particular cemetery has multiple buildings on it, like historic buildings.
Oh.
So the night when you guys come, we actually got access to 2 new locations, the train station and then the hearse museum, which has the very first hearse that was used here in Lynchburg. The original hearse in it. We personally have not even investigated those 2 locations ourselves. So I'm excited. I'm saving it for that night. But on our last public investigation, we had a young lady that came running up to me. We were in the section where Confederate soldiers were buried, and she came running up to me and she said, "Whatever's over here doesn't like kids."
Aww.
And I said, "Oh, what makes you feel that way?" And she said, "I just have a really bad feeling over here," which is crazy because when we investigated it with 2 young ladies who both simultaneously looked at each other. One of them said, "My arm hurts really bad." And the other one said, "The back of my neck is hurting really bad." So we pulled them out of there because they were teenagers. And, I don't know what is affecting you. So we pulled them out of there and didn't think anything of it. And then when this young lady came up to me and told me that whatever was out there didn't like children, something told me to start snapping pictures. Her younger sister started snapping pictures. And then she asked me, bless her heart, she said, "Does the REM pod work outside?" And I said, "Yes, absolutely." So we set the REM pod on the ground right in front of like a tree, and it was just intelligent response after intelligent response. And then after the investigation, it was like midnight that night, and the younger sister sent me a picture. She caught a full-bodied apparition standing right next to the REM pod.
Wow.
So that was cool. So yeah, you guys will have an awesome time. Ronnie, we are doing a public investigation April 6th. I almost blanked.
Next Saturday, Ronnie. Shayla will send you a message sometime, and we'll talk about getting together and have something to eat before we go to the investigation.
Actually, most of our full body apparitions that we've got came from this location.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
That's cool.
We've only got I think since we've been doing it, 3 or 4 actual full body apparitions, and they came from there.
Right. And it was cool because it was kind of a slow night that night. And when it was our first public that we had done. And I'm going, I'm thinking to myself, come on, spirits, I know you're here. I've communicated with you a million times. Let these people not be disappointed, because I'm going, oh my God, I'm throwing everything I got at them. And they're just not responding. And so it was like a last minute alternative. I said, are you guys down to go to the Confederate section? And everybody was like, yeah, let's go. And it was just active from there. And I was like, okay, thank God. Well, we redeemed ourselves over here, because we know what's there, because we've been there. Shoot, I can't even count how many times.
Yeah.
For hours upon hours upon hours, So, but it's like that sometimes on investigations. You can go to the most active location, like I mentioned earlier, the Octagon Mansion. By 2 a.m., I was asleep, which is rare for me.
We've been to several locations where everybody says, well, we had this happen, we had that happen, we got there, nothing happened.
Crescent.
Yep.
Yeah, that's Crescent was one for us. The other one last year was the Haunted Majestic down in Huntington, West Virginia. The 2 barges that are hooked together. We didn't have a whole lot happen that night. So, but that's just.
I did get an EVP.
See, I want to do Moundsville.
But and it happens.
Moundsville's a really good location.
Yeah.
I will say one of my best Estes methods was at Ohio State, though.
Oh yeah.
With Aaron Porter and actually there's a bunch of us and a lot of teams that but we were in the cell where the gentleman set himself on fire. Oh yeah, the Exchange. Love the Exchange.
I love the Exchange Hotel, but we got nothing.
I wouldn't say nothing. We did get an apparition there, and we got the EVP there. I'm not EVP. Was it EVP? Where we cornbread? We got that voice.
Oh, yeah, there was a little. Yeah, we were over in the summer kitchen. You are right. We were over in the summer
And you
kitchen.
said cornbread, and the voice went here.
That's a little boy out there. Yeah.
Yeah, she said cornbread. She said something. I got to look back at that video.
I put on my best Southern accent because everybody who knows me knows I'm from California, so I have to put on a Southern accent. So I said, cornbread. If you're here, can you touch the red light? And a little voice came through and said, "Here."
Yeah,
it was great.
Our best interaction there was on the third floor of the main building. She was on the housing rod section talking to Emma. And she said, "Emma, if you want me to come back, we're leaving now. If you want me to come back, swing the left rod over towards the staircase." I said, "No." I said, "Emma, if you want her to come back, swing the rod around and touch her on the arm." Well, she already headed out towards the staircase, and she just come around, bounced off her arm.
See, there's some activity there, but I think that the hype is what, and we were talking about this, about starting to go into investigations blindly. Because I think that when you go and you get the tour and you hear about all the hot spots and all the things that have happened to previous teams, your expectations kind of go higher. And you're expecting all this stuff to happen, So if people are telling you, yeah, man, I was like pushed down some stairs and doors were slamming, I'm expecting to be pushed. I'm expecting doors to slam. And so when you're sitting there,
I think some people they exaggerate just to make themselves sound like we're really good investigators. Yeah, quit faking. Yeah, quit faking shit.
He said you're making shit up. I do think there's some. I do think that there's some of that going on. I do, because like I said, the exchange was one of them where my expectations were very high.
We've never been to the exchange for a private. We've only been with haunted nights with the race chasers. Yeah. So I would like to go there by as with like another team or so, but. Again, I feel like that's an expensive location.
For the time you have to spend there, it's 5 hours for like $350. No, I'm not doing that for 5 hours.
And that's quite a drive for you all and us to go for a short amount of time.
But I don't go into any location with any type of expectation. What happens, happens.
Now, I will say that we have, I've discovered a new location. I don't know if you guys are interested, but it's the 1747 Blue Ball Inn. We've got our first private investigation. Oh no, do tell.
So we live near there.
Okay.
Very close to us, and I contacted that gentleman like the very first time he had anything out there. Like I just sent him a message and I was like, so because I will be completely honest with you, Middletown does not welcome us. We have one of the longest operating motor inns in the country. It's full of paranormal experiences, and we used to be the home team there, and they won't let us come in. So full disclosure on that. So I was really excited because this place was close to our house. And so I reached out to him, and he kept hemming and hawing, and then finally one of the guys from 20 Days In,
Sean Austin,
went. And I don't know if you've met Sean Austin, but he's a different person. And I'd be happy to share with you what I feel about him some other time. But he went, and because he was on TV, of course, he let him go in first, which, okay, if that's what you want to do. But I don't know if you've watched any of his videos, but I would just tell you, if you are interested in going to the Blue Ball and look at some of the videos that the owner has put up. And you could be the judge of what you think is what he's doing, but I'm not really sure that it's haunted. I'm just going to put it out there.
Yeah, he has on his Facebook page that he's a digital creator, so I think he's full of shit. Because Sean Austin was there, we watched the live stream that Sean was doing while he was there.
I love this guy.
It's a half hour. It's a half hour from the house. So we watched the live stream. Sean goes, "Well, I'm going to take a picture across the hallway into that doorway right there." So he's on his live stream. You don't see his phone. Okay, well, it looks like I got something in the doorway. Okay, let's see the picture, dumbass. You're doing a live stream. Show everybody your picture. You don't see anything.
don't see it.
Let me take another
Yeah,
picture.
I've never heard of Sean Austin.
It looks like a hit. Well, let's see the picture.
But I've never seen a video come out of that place except for the ones that the owner does.
I didn't.
Yeah.
We'll play you one.
So,
So
and going back to what you said about going into location blindly, I'm okay with not knowing the hot spots, but unfortunately, most of the time, and it hasn't happened as of yet, but when we were going pretty frequently, I would have dreams about somebody who was going to be at the location. It happened at Madison Seminary, and it just kind of creeps me out a little bit sometimes. I'm a big napper before we go. The first time we went to the exchange, I woke up and I looked at him and I was like, Edwards. Well, my son's name is Edward. So I was like, okay, whatever. And so a lady was doing the little spiel about the rules and, about the location and how they are a nonprofit and blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And she said something about the Confederacy had a secret service, which I didn't know that. And I went upstairs. Sure enough, one of the guys in the Secret Service was named Edwards. His last name was Edwards. And I was just like, I came downstairs and I looked at him and I was like, oh my God, you're not going to believe it.
You're going to make me go look at my my files from Spirit Talker, because there was one room that I ran Spirit Talker, and it was like every 3 seconds, a word. And I'm feel like I got Edwards on there. What did Ronnie say?
There's a new location.
it's interesting.
I know.
I was reading it.
Yes. So, Ronnie, I actually did reach out to Clover Hill. I'm waiting for a response back. I do want to check that out. Sean actually played was it an oyster festival out there?
Wine festival.
A wine festival out at Clover Hill Village.
That's when I first released Lights Out.
Yep, and we had YYD out there for his first single release, and that was cool.
Yeah.
But back to the exchange, my only complaint about that is when you're going over the rules and the regulations and stuff like that, there's a thing on there before you sign that says that you're not allowed to post any information before clearing it through the owner. So I sent her an email and let her know that I had some evidence and wanted to forward it to her. Would that be okay? And I have never heard back, like, ever.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My dogs are barking.
It's okay.
That's fine.
And they only bark if somebody's here.
So when are you going to the Blue Ball Inn?
April 27th.
Okay. Yeah, April.
Well, I promise you, we'll give you a video of what we get.
Okay. Yeah, let us know what you think of it, because I mean, he's kind of just with his attitude towards us right now, and with not answering her emails and stuff. I'm just.
Yeah, he wouldn't answer me after Shane went there, so I just kind of got a little disenfranchised. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah, and that's where I was with it, and I'm like, okay, so I've got I was snapping pictures into the schoolhouse room that I believe is on the second or third level, and we got what I believe it looked like a small child apparition, like walking by, like a side profile view. And I want to post that.
Well, yeah.
I can't because I signed a piece of paper and I'm not, I try to do everything on our team correctly.
Fuck it, let them sue us.
So,
Is there anything in the picture that can connect it to that location?
No.
So, I mean, like, if you just put an undisclosed location.
That's true. I could do that.
Ghost pictures. It's from Gettysburg.
Oh, my God, stop.
Yeah. Gettysburg Ghost pictures.
No.
Paul likes to read.
Oh, my God. Go ahead, Ronnie. I'm going to let you and Sean talk about that page, Gettysburg Ghost Pictures.
I'm blocked.
I got kicked off.
I'm blocked. They blocked me.
I get kicked off.
Basically, that's what I thought.
People will literally post a picture like.
Well, I want to go back and touch on something y'all said. When you was like, she said something that kind of struck a nerve in me. She said, I guess because somebody's on TV, they let them do something. I'm so sick of hearing about these paranormal investigators. That's what I'm going to call them, investigators. That's the new word. These paranormal investigators thinking they're celebrities. Look, they do the same thing that everybody else does. Like, I'm tired of these big-headed people. I'm tired of talking to people who gives me all these resumes and credentials. about what they've done and how they're better than we are because they've been on TV. I'm gonna put it out there now. If everybody's listening, I don't give a shit what you've done in this field. If you're not doing anything to move it forward,
exactly,
or better the field, I don't give a shit about what you've done in this field. And you're not better than anybody else in this field if you're not doing anything to move everyone in this field as a whole forward.
And
if you're not bringing the scientific aspect forward and making it better for everyone, not just yourself, then to me, you're not nothing. And that's my opinion. If you're not getting evidence and putting it out there and creating it up and working together with more people, and you're not networking, and you're being an asshole, and you're just trying to make yourself better and not the field as a whole, to me, it doesn't mean anything. If you're out for yourself and you're out for the fame and fortune, great. That's a good thing. That's what you want to do. Cool. But don't go around here putting yourself on some kind of pedestal like you're better than everybody else. Because to me, it doesn't mean nothing. I've sat down and ate dinner with celebrities before, movie stars, actors, musicians, but I don't care about the paranormal celebrities. I don't. So like, I hate the fact that you said somebody put y'all on the back burner to move somebody else forward, but that doesn't sit well with me at all.
No.
That kind of struck a nerve. That struck a nerve with me. I'm sorry for my rant.
No, you're fine.
It's okay.
You're fine because we're like you all. We do what we do, and now we're starting with YouTube videos and things like that, just to show the followers, the people who follow our page, if they want to go watch the video of what we've done, where we've been, experience what we've experienced. If we have any experiences, watch the video. We're not doing it because
Right.
I could give a shit about being famous. That's
Right.
why we're in it.
Well, I watch indie YouTubers anyway. I don't watch. Sure, in my earlier days, I watched Ghost Adventures because that was cool. But then once I actually started paranormal investigating many moons ago, I find that watching people's like indie channels are more interesting. Like, I want to see the investigator that goes out with the body cam and is sitting there staring at a REM pod for 20 minutes. Am I going to fast forward? Maybe. I want to see the REM pod go off, but I want to hear what questions are being asked, because every team, and a lot of the reason why we started this podcast is to, one, further grow our knowledge in the paranormal field, because I have not had one single solitary team come on our show that I have not learned something new from. And, it was, I forgot who it was that we had on, and they said something to the effect of, ghosts get tired of being interrogated. And it brought me to think, oh my God, we really do sit there and, what is your name? Where are you from? How old are you? Are you here?
Do you know you're dead?
Can you touch?
Yeah, I mean, we sat there and had conversations, told jokes at Octagon Mansion. John Sullivan sat there with DR60 on and told a gay joke, and it got a response.
It's a great EVP.
I love it.
Shout out to John Sullivan.
But I mean, I think we all just. I had two pieces of advice from some people who I very much respect in this field. One of them told me they're like talking about interrogation. They're like, when you go to somebody's house for the very first time, you don't walk in the door and go, "Hi, what's your name? When did you die? Do you know you're dead? Can you see us? Are you a male or female? Are you a child?" Like, you don't do that when you walk in someone's house. So why do you do it when you go into a ghost location? Like, why do we do that? Why don't we just have a conversation? And the second thing I've always heard is, if nothing's happening, everybody understands laughter. So why not or just start talking and making each other laugh? Then you feel comfortable. You're not, your pulse is not crazy wild, and you feel comfortable. And then all of a sudden the REM part's going off. You're like, oh crap, they're listening.
I mean, his question that night was, "What's a gay horse eat?" He goes, "Hey," like that. And he played the 2R60 back, and you hear somebody laughing. Yeah, they thought it was funny. You're exactly
See,
right.
we tried that tactic actually recently. We went to, and I will recommend this location, Rainworth, historic Rainworth Lodge in Gettysburg.
We
May,
are going there in May.
Yes,
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I'm not going to tell you anything. You're going to experience it yourself. But we took a different approach to that investigation. We're more relaxed when we have it overnight because we have more time. You know what I'm saying? So we had time to set up our stuff. And, I put a REM pod on the coffee table and we set up a few more pieces of equipment. And then we went in the kitchen and got into an extremely intense game of Uno.
It was intense.
Okay. Like, we were all about ready to fight each other as a team. So,
Especially my kid.
yes. So she takes, his daughter takes Uno very seriously. All right. She doesn't care who wins as long as it's not her dad. Everybody else can win, but if he wins, she's slamming cards down, giving dirty looks, the whole nine. So, middle of the Uno game, I start.
You feel the love.
So, middle of the game, I think Sean won, and she said, "I'm done playing this game," and she put her cards down. Well, they've got and you guys are going to see it when you go in May. The biggest Uno cards I have ever seen in my life. These cards are like this big. Okay. They're not a normal deck of cards. So I have little hands. And so I'm trying to hold these cards and I can't.
They were almost too big for my hand.
We had to shuffle them like in a pile because if they're not, you can't shuffle them. So we were laughing, we were carrying on. And all of a sudden we hear all this noise, just beep, 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 beep from the coffee table. So I go out there and every light on the REM pod's just going insane. And I'm like, what is going on?
No, just a green light.
Yeah.
You put that on the line, didn't you?
Yes.
We
Yep.
saw that.
Yeah, we saw that.
Yeah, I think I put a TikTok up. So, and then you hear Sean say, is everybody in airplane mode? That's always his first question, being the tech guy. And then you hear me asking a few questions, and I'm asking whatever's communicating with REM pod to stop touching it because it was constant and they weren't responding. And so then I went, shit, the battery's dead. So we pulled the battery out of the REM pod and we put it on the battery tester and it tested full. So we put that battery back into the REM pod, set it down. It was quiet for a second. So I started to exit the room and it went berserk again.
Oh my God.
So I turned around and I was like, okay, let me try to figure out what's communicating with us. And mind you, this is a location that my first question to why am I blanking on his name? To Daniel was, have you ever had any REM pod activity? And he told me that there was only one instance of REM pod activity at that location when a neighborhood child came over and decided to pull out the REM pod and utilize REM pod. He said, but that was the first and last time that there was ever any REM pod activity. Wow. So I'm like, all right. So I'm running around for scientific purposes, trying to figure out, okay, what's around? I've got an EMF detector. I'm like, what's setting this darn REM pod off? Because if they're not having REM pod activity, like something's setting it off.
And mind you, before anybody asks, we're using a tri-field at this point because I'm trying to figure out what it is.
Yeah, because I mean, this thing was like, you heard it in the video. I mean, it was like almost like cover your ears.
Yeah.
So finally, we did pull the battery because I noticed that the lights switched. I think I actually asked it to light up all the lights and it does. Mm-hmm. And then it switched to just the red light. So I said, okay, now at this point, it's the battery. So we pulled it out. That same battery that he had just tested 2 minutes prior that was totally full was completely empty.
Wow.
So we put a fresh battery in it and set it back, went back to the Uno game, wrapped that up. And as we were wrapping it up, it happened again. So my point of that is this. You are correct. Ronnie said the best evidence we get is when we're just chatting between our members.
Oh, yeah.
You said when the gay jokes happen, that I will have to completely agree that when you're just being yourself, is when you'll get the best evidence. And you guys haven't investigated with me. I'm goofy. I will goof off.
You have investigated.
I know. We need to. Well, we're going to.
Yeah, we're going to next weekend.
Yeah.
Hopefully it won't be the last time.
Yeah, for sure.
No.
But yeah, we're looking forward to Rainsworth because, like I say, our friend Dan Porter from Supernatural Off Adventures, he entered a raffle that Daniel Bonner had back in November, December. and he was one of the raffle wins was a free overnight stay and investigation at Waynesworth. So Dan won that. He asked me, he said, "Y'all want to go?" I was like, "Well, yeah, it's only an hour from the house. Yeah, we want to go." So we decided we're going to pay them for Friday night since we're going to be there Saturday night anyway. So we're going to stay 2 nights. They've never, Dan and Karen have never been to Gettysburg, so we're going to enjoy that.
Oh my God!
Yeah, go to Devil's Den. Make sure you go. They go to Devil's Den. We got. I took a K2. Yeah, make sure they go. I took a K2 down during the day, just goofing off, and had intelligent responses with that during the day, just goofing off.
I'm super jealous. You guys are only an hour from Gettysburg.
Yeah.
That one I'm jealous of.
Yeah,
and it's funny because I think about that every time I pass that sign that says Middletown.
Yeah, we think about y'all every time.
last time we waved at the sign. I know you couldn't see us, but we waved at it.
So I've had so much
right off the exit. But we're at we have the other Belgrove here. That's just a museum. They don't allow investigations there. So
yeah, we actually one of our very first investigations, we had the event at Wayside Inn. They let us have an investigation there, and it sold out in like 36 hours. It was really fast. But we wanted to donate the funds to Belgrove. We didn't want to do anything else but just support the location because we love history and we want it to continue. We don't want it to die. Bad or good, right or wrong, it still needs to be told. The story needs to be told. 11, all of it needs to be told. So I called Kristen, who is the director, and she said, we don't allow investigations here. And I said, I know, Kristen. I said, we just want to donate the funds. So we want to put it on the poster. Proceeds from this event go to Belgrove Plantation. And she goes, well, I know this is going to sound weird coming from a nonprofit, but we can't take your money. Click.
What?
Yeah, they didn't want money.
So we have a chapel, a St. Thomas Chapel, and you can see this, like it's diagonal from our backyard. Yeah. It used to be a Civil War hospital. Middletown's every house that's old was a hospital. But we called the lady who lives behind us, and we said, hi, my name is, we want to donate the money to St. Thomas Chapel because they need a roof. It's like $10,000 for the roof at that point. And she stopped talking because she was crying because she goes, oh my God, you want to give us money? And I'm like, yeah. She goes, what do I have to do? I said, just show up at Wayside a week later and take a check from us so we can take a picture. She's like, that's it? And I was like, yeah. She was thrilled.
$1,500.
So, wow. I mean, it's just weird to me.
We experience a lot of that here in Lynchburg. There's so much history here in Lynchburg, and nobody wants to let you investigate it.
No.
You know,
here before long, we're going to change our name. We're not going to be Middletown.
Yeah, you know what? We actually had that discussion about changing our name from Hill City Paranormal. We did, because it's like it's such a topic that just doesn't want to be discussed. If you Google haunted locations, Lynchburg, Virginia, there's one location that comes out. It's a Jackson Street house, the Rocking Cradle house. Okay. That house has been up for sale. Nobody's in it. They did renovations on it. And I literally reached out to the owner and I was like, so I noticed that it's been on the market for quite some time. It's probably going to sit there for quite some time. I am literally willing, if you let us run investigations out of there, like to donate my money to you. Like, you just put all this money into renovations. Like, don't you want to put some back in your pocket? And it was just, like you said, click up, not interested, you know, things like that. So, I mean, and then we reach out to locations all the time here. Like you said, there's a lot of locations here that were Civil War hospitals. For Christ's sake, they didn't have enough Civil War hospitals in Gettysburg that they actually transported 10,000 injured soldiers from Gettysburg to here in Lynchburg and treated them here. And I've reached out, and it's like the historical society's closed down, you know, everybody's closed down. Luckily, the Lynchburg Museum director is a huge paranormal fan, and he allowed us to go in there. But that's because he's a fan of paranormal himself.
Yeah.
But I had to go through an entire job interview to just get in there. I mean, literally, like there was a panel of questions. It was crazy.
Have you been to Stanton?
Stanton, not yet. I mean, personally, physically, yes, okay. No trespassing on the D. Jarnett Sanitarium when I was like younger. That sign didn't matter to me.
I'm gonna put this out there in case he's listening. David Sims wrote Fear the Reaper on the D. Jarnett Sanitarium. If you can hear me, I want to meet you. I will buy your lunch. Just come talk to me. That is a book, and it sucks you in. I read it in like 6 days, and I still work full time. It's a really cool story, but Stanton has really embraced that, and they've seen the value in the history of their location, and they have this Ghost of Stanton's thing that those guys run, and it is so well run. They know all the history.
Yeah, you need to go do the tour. You need to do the tour.
We've had Black Raven Paranormal on our show.
Yeah.
And, and shout out to Marty. I mean, very knowledgeable.
Very nice.
I feel like same with the music industry. It's like we have several other friends that are in bands and we can never, ever match up dates because if they're playing, we have a gig that day. Mm-hmm. Or if they're investigating or doing a tour, we've got, something to do. I've got to work or I've got, an investigation or something like that. But 2024. We will be on the Ghost of Stanton tour at some point.
Yeah.
We made that promise to Marty.
Yeah.
Michael, I want to go.
It's so much fun. And Marty's, Howie told me about it. I remember him talking about it on his show. And I was like, Ronnie, let's just go up there. It's Friday the 13th. We'll do it on, crazy spooky thing. And it was so much fun. So much fun. And I learned so much that night. We're going back again just because we learned so much and we want to do it again.
Well, let us know when you guys go back, and we'll meet you up there.
We're going in June 14th and 15th. We'll be at Weir's Cave for the Bigfoot convention going on there. We're set up as vendors, and I think Saturday night we're going to go over for the tour. And it's perfect timing because coming back from Pennsylvania last weekend, I've always been a Kiss fan. I always liked Ace Frehley, and we was talking about concerts, and I told her, I says, I wonder why Charlestown Casino hasn't had Ace Frehley over there in concert yet. The venue's perfect for what he's doing now on his solo tour. So yesterday, a cop pops up on Facebook. Oh, Ace Frehley at Hollywood Casino, June 15th. I'm like, son of a bitch.
So now you're not doing the tour, or are you still doing the tour?
I'll be at Weir's Cave. I've already paid the vendor's table fee and everything.
Have you guys ever been to the Bigfoot conference? You should come.
Oh,
that's interesting.
I feel like that might be a good weekend for me because I know that is the week of my birthday and I'm off like a whole bunch. June 20th.
Mine's the 24th.
Yay. June birthdays. See, they're the best.
Born in June.
Yes. June women are queens.
Okay.
I've explained this.
Karen's birthday's in June.
I know.
So yeah.
We have another team member, Carrie. She's in here. Her birthday is also in June.
Yeah. So she comment about setting up the equipment. She gets activity. It's really weird that she said that because like sometimes I feel like we put something out and like they've never seen it, and so they're like, "What's that? Oh, what's that? What's that?"
They just get to touching it. That's funny.
So I didn't get a chance to actually interrogate y'all like we know. We've been talking like just having normal.
I love it.
Okay, interrogate us. We're not done.
Different podcasts.
I love the change.
What equipment do y'all use?
It varies. Most of the time we've got REM pod out. We just got tripwire. We got the G2 out.
The stuff from Bruce.
Yeah, we got the 360 detectors. I got 2 360 detectors from Ron Wood, and I just sent him 2 candles to see what he can work his magic on those. And they're plastic, not wax.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out the ghost stop candles.
They're dumbasses for putting them in wax.
We also use the Estes method a lot. We haven't recently, but we were using that. I mean, just depending on the location, we use that. I used to do the Estes method a lot.
Yeah, we use a voice. She uses a voice recorder once in a while. We're not really big on voice recorders because if you sit there the whole time, like, I want to get EVP, you're sitting there playing with the recorder, you're missing shit.
Yeah.
You're spending your whole time on a voice recorder. You're getting like, what? Experiment with other stuff. Get noise responses, lights, whatever. I'm not a big fan of voice recorders.
I'm not either.
I'm not either. The DR60 recorder, I watched a guy on YouTube destroy that for me, and I know a lot of people believe in it, but when I watch it,
I've heard some interesting. I mean, John's got some good stuff on his DR60. Paul Shields has gotten some good stuff on his DR60, but a lot of it's just chatter. You don't know what they're saying. You can't make it out. Once in a while, you'll get something like when Paul asked, "Were the doctors nice to you?" And we heard a firm and clear Class A no, and he got that on 2 recorders. And then John telling the joke, and you're hearing the laughter behind it. I mean. Yeah, just I'd rather spend my time doing other things. We use dowsing rods. I've got little small glow sticks that go on fishing rods. I put on the end of those, so when it's dark, you can see them move. You keep track of. SB7 Spirit Box. We'll listen to it for a little bit, or put her in Estee's message because I mean she just clicks stuff off as soon as you put her in it. I can't keep her up.
They like me. That's why I like sanitariums.
Yeah, shout out to the guys who can use those voice recorders. I'm not a fan of them. John Sullivan was one that got good stuff. Ryan Jones is another one that can get good stuff with him. Me, maybe I just suck with him. I don't know.
I suck too.
I'm not going to spend my time sitting there playing with a recorder when there's other things going on.
Some like to each his own with them. Some people are just
everybody has their own way of their own style things they want to do, and that's fine. I mean, no problem with that.
Absolutely.
Things I like to do. And
let me put it out there: I'm not dissing or knocking anyone for using them.
I'm not either.
I'm not knocking or dissing you for using them.
Yeah,
I just gotta put that out there.
Yeah.
I'm no expert. I'm just saying for me.
I can't capture an EVP worth of
wish
shit.
I was good with one. I wish I could pop it on and get a whole conversation, but I can't.
Yeah, I can't. I'm a tangible person. I want to see the lights.
Yeah.
That's me.
I want to, I want to ask a spirit to manipulate a piece of equipment. I want to see you manipulate something.
Yeah.
Ronnie Anderson said y'all are hating on him.
No, Ronnie, no. That's if it works for you, that's fine. So I can use 2 or 3 recorders, not get anything.
I'm hating on him.
Get something.
He gets evidence with it, and I can't.
Yeah, that's the way that works with me. Yeah, she'll get with one. I'll have 2 or 3 and get nothing.
Yeah, right. Well, why don't you hook me up, man? Show me the secret to getting these EVPs recorded. I can't do it.
It's the red hair.
That's funny.
Yeah. Something I don't with these things. What's the worst piece of equipment? What do you not like the most?
I don't
said the voice recorder.
Oh, the voice recorder.
Carrie brought up the Marco Polo. She said Marco Polo worked. That was on the body cam.
That was a body cam, though. Like, I love cameras. Cameras all day. I'm a visual guy. If I see it, I love it. The body cam at Rainworth, I caught a shadow figure. And the cool part about it was like I wasn't supposed to catch it. It was so fast. It was like, you're not supposed to see that. I was actually half asleep looking at footage, looking at evidence, and I saw something move out the corner of my eye, and I was like, let me slow it down. And so I saw it again. I slowed it all the way down, and you see it over by the garage, like a human figure just take off. And I was like, what the hell was that? The whole team was inside. It was just me outside at the time, because I was outside vaping. And you just see a figure walk from behind the garage and just take off like the speed of light. I mean, that thing was quick. But that was caught with a body cam.
Now make sure you get there first and stay in the downstairs bedroom.
Okay.
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 All right, we'll do that. I
But
think
yeah,
we
make
were
sure you
talking
get
about
there
that
first.
anyway. We watched the video that Marty sent us, because when he was on Howie's show the other week, I'd asked him in chat about it, and he sent us a video that they took from up there. So,
Yeah, I'll have to. I didn't capture anything like on film or anything in that bedroom, but they said that was the most haunted bedroom in the place, and I had my back to the wall, like towards the door, and definitely you get that feeling of being watched. You hear footsteps behind you.
I didn't get none of that.
So
I went straight to sleep.
yeah, well, yeah, you guys investigated till you couldn't investigate no more.
Yeah. I think we went to bed at like 5:30 in the morning.
Right.
Oh, well. Yeah, I'll probably set a static camera up in that room.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah, I would. Let me know what you get because I'm curious.
Okay.
But let me ask you guys a quick question. I know that we're kind of running out of time. Yawning's happening. Ronnie's about to make me yawn.
Oh, Ron,
but what advice? I always ask everybody, what advice would you give somebody that wants to become a paranormal investigator in today's paranormal society, I guess, so to speak?
You want to go first?
Good.
I would say, and this was advice somebody gave me when I started, don't ever take what the homeowner, the person who owns the property, what they say as gospel. Sometimes there's a perfectly good explanation that is not paranormal that can be shown. And I've added to that over the years, and I've said 10 times something happens, 7 we can explain. We live for the 3 that we can.
Great advice.
Wow.
That's pretty much it.
That's deep.
That's definitely different too.
That's kind of the motto we go by. And the way we started is without proof, it's just a really good ghost story.
Yeah.
That's true.
So we try to debunk as much as possible. So
yeah,
you've really got to convince me before I'm going to say it's paranormal or anything's happening.
I think that's excellent advice.
He doesn't believe
10
me
times.
He doesn't believe me.
Yeah, I'm not a skeptic, but when I go into a location, I'm not expecting anything. So whatever happens, happens. Something happens, great. If it doesn't, I'll just go to sleep.
Yeah. And that's really how I am as well. The cabin and Rainworth were the 2 that I hung the longest at for overnight investigations. The cabin, I can't explain why I was so awake the way that I was. But I'm like you. If nothing's happening, I'll just crash.
Yeah, if you want to see an interesting Estes session from the cabin, on our page, way down the list, I forget when we was there last.
No, it's been a while.
But
that was very exhausting for me.
I put her in the corner where the entity's supposed to be, where the water tank and everything is. I put her in the corner, put her in an Estes session.
Twice.
Dennis had to walk her out the first night. That was on Friday night. And when we walked her out, John Sullivan had a crucifix set up, and that thing lit up after we left. He said, "What did you do to Shayla?" And I had live stream still going, and you could see the green flash against the wall. The second night, I took her in the corner again. I got Brandon Johnson to say the Lord's Prayer. And on that live stream, it was coming after me because it kept saying something about a wreck and something about the town of Woodstock. We put 2 and 2 together after we got out of there. But, yeah, it didn't get to me.
I think it kept saying "stop it" when he started saying the Lord's Prayer. It started saying "stop it."
Yeah, it was getting mad. But
Sean got it. Came for Sean in the basement.
Did
it came for him heavy. Very racist.
I think it's one of the few times though that somebody's actually sat over in the corner and did an Estes session, got face to face with whatever's over there, because it always hides in that one corner.
Yeah, that corner is
right hand corner. That's usually where it hides in. We got right up in its face.
And
there's something over there.
I usually don't get like that, but the Friday night that I got walked out, I hadn't eaten, and I had gotten up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and it was like 2 o'clock in the morning the next day. By the time this happened, I was just in a really weak, vulnerable state.
Yeah.
And it just, I was in Estes, and Tyler was on the other side doing Estes. And there was a girl who brought her son. I did not know his name. And I said his name.
Yeah.
And then it started showing me images of what it was doing to Tyler. Like very graphic, nasty, gory images of what it was going to do to Tyler. And I kept saying Tyler's name. I probably said it twice. And he was still in Estes. And I remember pulling the headphones off my ears and went, I need to know if Tyler's okay. And the next thing I remember, I was outside. I don't remember anything else. I don't remember going up the stairs. I don't remember him coming out with me. I don't remember Dennis coming out with me. Nothing. I just remember asking if Tyler was okay. I mean, all the images I saw were just horrific. And I just had to get out of there.
Yeah. Like I said, not many people have gone over the corner and sit like that, done an ST session. So I told Dennis what we were going to do, and I wanted him there when it happened. And boom, we got her out just like that. So, yeah. Dennis is a great guy.
What did it do to you, Sean?
Basically, I didn't do an Estes method in there, but it was, it was being very mean. I'm used to getting called the N-word a lot, everywhere I go.
Really?
Oh yeah, you got to think I'm a black dude going in places where black dudes weren't allowed to go.
You're black? Really? Okay.
Oh my God. I had no idea. 13 years I've been lied to.
So when I'm sitting next, and you would think, I play country music, and I get along with the rednecks just fine. Those are my biggest supporters.
Yeah.
But when I'm going back 150 years, it's a different ball game. We're on a different playing field. So I'm in a lot of plantation houses and stuff like that. So I'm used to hearing it, but it's never said the way it came through down there. It's very mean and
vulgar.
And, so I get into an altercation with it. I'm like, okay, tell me your name. You do bad. Let's talk about it. And I'm very confrontational with it, and it was just shouting out different stuff. So finally, I get very verbal with it, and I said, "Tell me your name," and it goes Beelzebub.
Oh.
And then at that very moment, one of our team members, Rhonda,
said, "I need to get out of here.
Something just bit me." And then she's like, "I need a break." So we go upstairs. She said, "What the hell just bit me? Did something bite me?" She had 3 cat-like scratch marks on her neck.
Yeah.
Right here. And I'm like, okay.
And Rhonda was sitting right next to Sean.
She was sitting right next to me.
I was sitting across from Sean.
So it was like it couldn't penetrate me, so it got her. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, let me see your nails, And I looked at her nails, and where she chews her nails,
and
she has no nails.
She gardens.
Her nails are past her fingertips.
Wow.
But even if she did have nails, just forensics, you can't make a cat scratch with human nails.
Yeah, it was a lot more thin than if I was to put 3. I put my 3 nails there, and it was way wider than the 3 that she received.
Wow.
Now keep in mind, it was probably coming after you, Sean, because of your skin color, but also it probably thought it could get to you because Randy was also a black boy.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the crazy part about basement,
and he got to Randy. That's why he did to Melissa what he did. So he thought he could do it again.
Yeah.
You were like, no, screw you. You ain't doing that to me.
Right.
So, yeah.
And the crazy part is the basement started out very calm. So whatever was in the basement was communicating left and right with our 15-year-old team member.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, a lot of cat ball intelligent responses, if you roll the ball to me, I'll roll it back. Do you want to play a game? Cat ball would go off. She would roll the ball a little bit. And then once it stopped blinking, okay, now it's your turn. The ball would light up. This went on for a good 10 minutes with just her.
Looking back on it, it was calm until I started talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but we reviewed footage because we had, I believe, 2 cameras down there at the time. And right at the time when Rhonda got scratched, a light anomaly came down and went right behind her head on that same side.
Oh, wow.
In which she got scratched. And then, you hear me actually saying, all right, Sean, let's calm down. Because prior to going in there, Ryan had told us, sometimes the emotions can get heightened. Don't allow that anger to take over. And so Sean looks at me in the video and he says, I'm fine. He's like, I'm perfectly fine. He's like, I want to know who the hell this is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, as long as it's not something that's making you angry, I'm okay with it.
You
We
should
don't typically antagonize.
your Esty sessions. I mean, it keeps saying you need to leave. No, I'm not leaving. I'm not going anywhere. We're
Right.
talking after we're done. I'm not afraid of it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Sean, my roommate in college was Black. Her dad was a Pentecostal preacher, and this is why I said what I said to you. And so we went to church one Sunday, and we walked in the church, and her brother looks at her, and we sit down, and her brother looks at her, and he goes, "That's Shayla?" And she goes, "Yeah." "She's white." And I went, "I am."
That's
and
funny.
I was the only white person in the church. I didn't care. We were talking to God. Who cares? But it was just really funny. And so that's been kind of been a joke for her and I. Like every so often she'll say to me, she goes, "Sheila, you're white." I'm like, "I am?"
Yeah, that's not the first time actually I've gotten that somewhere. Like my buddy, middle of Thaxton. We play in a barn every now and then for his anniversary. It's literally in a barn, a horse barn. We get all his friends that come from right around the mountain, and they'll be like, "He's black." play country music.
That's like we went to see Jeff Dunham this weekend, and we were at the hotel eating the next morning, and he said somebody looked at him and went, "Is anybody sitting there?" And I was like, "What'd you say?" He goes, "I just told him no." And I would have been like, "You can't see them?"
Oh my God.
I want to do that so bad.
Hilarious. Well, we definitely need to get up and do an investigation together for sure. I know you're coming down next weekend, so that'll be, time one, but let's not make it the last time.
Definitely not. Definitely not. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Very knowledgeable. Middletown Paranormal here. If anybody wants to follow you on social media, is it just Middletown Paranormal Investigations?
Yep,
absolutely.
That's what it is.
Yep. And we're on YouTube and Facebook more than anything. So come on.
Perfect. Well, you heard it here first, folks. HCP Paranormal Podcast, Middletown Paranormal Investigations. Follow them on YouTube, Facebook. If you have any questions, you can email them, middletownvaparanormal@gmail.com.
That's us. Thank you.
Don't be like me and type it in incorrectly the first time. I appreciate y'all. Yes, Ronnie, peace, love.
Hey, Ronnie.
And
hopefully we'll see you next Saturday, Ron.
Yep. We will see you guys next Saturday.
All right. Look forward to it.
Have a wonderful night.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Bye-bye.